Hello everybody and welcome to How to Make a Mario Plush Video 2.0. This is an updated, more advanced version of the series I made in 2014. The series will consist of 5 parts. Part 1 will be preparing for your plush video. Part 2 will be filming your Mario Plush video. Part 3 will be editing. Part 4 will be a little more advanced and will focusing on visual effects and special effects. Finally, Part 5 will be uploading your Mario Plush video and managing your YouTube account. In this part, we will be focusing on editing your very own Mario Plush video. So without further ado, let's begin. One of the most important parts to making a Mario Plush video is post-production, aka editing your video. For demonstration purposes, I will be using the Boom Boom's Attack video. You can use whatever video of your choice, however. Also, I am using Final Cut Pro X for this tutorial. Alright, with that all out of the way, we're going to create a new event. We're just going to click New Event here, and we're going to type in the name of our event. Let's call it Mario Plush Video. Alright, that creates a new event. We're going to click here on the new event and then click New Project. You could call it whatever you like, but I'm going to be calling it Mario Plush Video like before. This leaves everything completely blank and new for you to start your new project. First of all, we're going to navigate over to the left and click that little arrow. This brings up the import window. If you have your SD card in the SD card slot on your computer, you can access this window. On the left, you should have your SD card. Mine is called No Name because I haven't named it, so that is the SD card in the slot. We're going to choose clips from that SD card and click Import Selected. Make sure you are importing to the correct event and project. All your clips should appear here on this left-hand side. Let's select the first clip right here and drag it over to the timeline. This places the clip in the timeline so you can edit it. Wow, this clip looks really small. It's pretty hard to work with small clips, so we're going to zoom in a bit. Next, we're going to want to trim this clip. Let's grab the end and pull it over to where the audio hits. Right about there is good. Now, we're going to want to pull the audio up. I usually pull it up to around 6 or 7, but mostly just 6. Once again, we're going to trim the clip. This time, though, I'm going to play it back to hear how it sounds. If some audio is clipped off, then we're just going to simply trim the clip a bit more to fit the audio better. Those were the basic functions needed in editing. Now, let's take a look at the effects and presets. This is the effects panel. Next, we have the photo library panel. This is where all your photos are kept. Then, we have the music library panel. This is obviously where all the music is. After that, there are the transitions. Then, there is the text panel, where you can add text to your video. And finally, we have the generators, the kind of random-ish thing. You won't understand it at first, but trust me, generators are extremely helpful. Generators provide an easy way to import different effects from Motion into Final Cut Pro. Okay, let's move back to the video and add in our second clip containing Farmer Yoshi. Once again, we're going to pull up the volume to about 6. And then we're also going to trim it to best fit the audio. Now, we're going to focus on music. An easy way to do this is to go to Finder and search the music you want. I have created a folder with all the music I use. Let's search for a good track to use. I'm going to be using Monkeys Spinning Monkeys from Incompetech.com. Incompetech offers loads of royalty-free music for you to use for your YouTube videos. I recommend checking it out. Link in the description. So what you want to do when adding music is just drag the track down onto your timeline from Finder. So I have added in the next clip, but this time we're going to be doing something a bit different. I want to talk about keyframes and what they are. Keyframes are essentially kind of tools for animation. In Final Cut Pro, you mainly use them for transforming an object or changing the audio. Here on the side, you'll see these little diamond-looking things. These diamonds will help us in keyframing. I'm going to pull the scale down of this object a bit and click the keyframe symbol. If we move a little bit ahead in the timeline and then move the scale upwards, you can see the animation happening. This is the essential basics of animation. Remember, you can also keyframe other things like the position and rotation. So far, we've covered the basics, animation, and music. Now it's time for transitions. The most basic transition is cross dissolve. If we place it in between two clips, it will act as a kind of like fade in / fade out. There are other types of transitions too, so be sure to check them all out. Next, we're going to be looking at titles. Let's grab a 3D title and drag it on top of Peach's clip. To change the text, hit the text tab and simply type in whatever you'd like. We're going to be typing in Mario Plush for demonstration. Let's also be sure to change the font. Maloriac looks good. Let's choose that one. We can also change things like the outline. If we click show on the outline and choose a color we want, we can add an outline. Also, let's expand the width of this a bit. It is lagging, but it will appear in a couple of seconds. Aha, there it is! So the next thing we can do with this is change the text to 3D. This will bring up the 3D transform controls. Now we can turn the text any way we would like. See, it's completely three-dimensional. A great feature of this is we can now have an option to change the material to anything we would like. As you can see here, I changed it to a rusty metallic material. Alright, our text is looking good, but we want to crop it a bit. So the first thing we're going to do is go over here and choose the tool we want. Blade cuts a clip just like that. As you can see, it's cut and it's now like a sort of separate clip. I can delete that end of the clip. There are different tools to use and try experimenting with all of them. The most useful though is Blade. The shortcut for that is B on the keyboard. Also, to get back to the regular cursor, just hit A on the keyboard. Next, we're going to be taking a look at generators. Let's take one of the pre-made generators and drag it onto the timeline. As you can see, these things are really good for backgrounds and are already animated. Once again, try experimenting with each of the generators. They're already animated for you, so you don't have to really do anything. Finally, we're going to be taking a look at the effects. Here are the basic effects. You got basic ones like negative, contrast, hard light, and threshold. The most helpful, however, are the color correction effects. Let's go over here to the video tab and click on the color board. This will bring up a panel with a ton of different presets for your colorization options. As you can see, I've just made this whole entire clip yellow. You can also make it different colors like this. The next panel is saturation. This is pretty self-explanatory, just pull up that bar on the side or any of the middle ones to pull up the saturation. The one on the side is the master saturation. Finally, we have the exposure, the one I use most often. The left-hand bar, aka the master exposure, will bring down or bring up the brightness in your scene. Try experimenting with different levels to see what effects you can create. Another very important effect tab is the keying tab. Let's bring in this Kamek shot and add a key effect. What this essentially does is either key out the blue or green in a shot. If we place this green solid generator behind Kamek, Kamek will now look green. Keyers basically change a certain color into an alpha channel. The alpha channel is basically a transparency channel, or a kind of transparency color. So another main panel here in the effects is the masks panel. We're going to add a draw mask effect and click to add control points to the mask. Once you have completed drawing your mask, the outside should be keyed out. We can also change the point's position once we have completed drawing the mask. On the draw mask panel, we can change some things like the feather. This increases the kind of like hardness on the edges. Alright, we are done with the visual effects. Now it's time to go to the audio effects. The only one we're going to be looking at today is the voice panel. Peach's voice is known to be being high-pitched. To achieve this effect, we're going to add a helium effect to this clip. To edit the helium effect, go to the audio panel, go to the helium panel, and bring down the amount to 3.0. This is the amount I usually set the clips to. This is only scratching the surface with editing. Be sure to experiment with different effects and presets on your own to find what best fits for your video. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe to EpicMarioBros for more awesome videos like this. Thank you and bye.